He had hands on with me. He was about 6 feet 6 inches tall. Nothing to play with, but educated, compassionate, consistent, and stern. He's a gentleman that you all that are coming in the ranks now need to read up on. And we've had several others, Hispanic and black, like Roger Leone and others, that are carrying the baton. Now, the question I have is, they both are educators first, then they're administrators. So being an educator, you educate those that want to be educated and those that it's a little bit more critique to educate. Then they go to the next echelon of being an administrator, of delegating and recruitments that have the same passion that they had. So my hat is off to both of those, and I thank them both. And I hope that we continue to support them. And not only that, we're looking forward for the next generation to do the same and understanding the rich culture of being who you are, where you come from, and what you can do with the support of those that are in your city that have walked the same concrete geographical pegments you have and sat in the same seats that you have. Next, I'd like to speak of, this is going to make you laugh. We called him Big Willie Brown. Now, Big Willie Brown was among the first African American public servants of my time in the county, or should I say in the state, in the assembly. And he was a gentleman, I think he was from down south. He was born in 1940, and he passed in 2009. Over in the Weequahic section of Newark, New Jersey, he had a lot of real estate. He had different businesses. If I'm not mistaken, his niece, I could be wrong, his niece or his granddaughter, was the mayor of Hillside. That is a first also. But as you see, as I'm chronologically trying to put this together for us as we sit here and talk, and I'm brainstorming that we're standing on the shoulders of a lot of individuals that might have been forgotten, but their actions, their efforts, and their dreams were established and put on the front burner for the next generation to continue. Now, I will go to Donald Kofi Tucker. He was also an assemblyman. He was born in 1938. He died in 2005. He was a member of the city municipal from 1974 to 2008. Willie Brown and Kofi, or Councilman Tucker, were on the front lines, along with Eugene Campbell, on the front lines about change in this town. What I'm getting at is that I know we've heard the proverb, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. It's a different diagrammic now, but it's primarily the same thing. There is power within numbers. There's power within unity. There is change in communication. Get involved. These two gentlemen, and the others that I'm going to speak of, started out as public servants, district leaders, concerned parents, products of this city that love this city, regardless of the torment and the separatism and whatever else was going on at that time. They continued to strive forward and understanding that their efforts today would be highlighted and pursued forward with the next generation later on. I want to go from Donald Tucker to Don Bradley. Don Bradley, when I was in school, as I stated, I went to Clara Muhammad, an African free school, daily. Daily. You're talking 6 days a week, daily. He was with the Title I department, if I'm not mistaken. He was with the Teachers Union. He was also a ball player, pretty good ball player that took all city just like Eugene Campbell did. So they used their athletics to keep them interested in furthering their education and accomplishing what they thought they could by using their athleticism and passion for competing to further their education. He's a graduate of Winston-Salem State University, where he played ball for Big House Gaines, the most victorious coach of all time of black colleges. He was also the city council president. He was a district leader. He was with the Parent Teachers Association. These are individuals that I actually saw. Now, we have individuals now that are doing the same thing. But my question to you all is, do we support them or do we rave at them instead of trying to come with solutions and come together and make amends and make a difference? He's still with us at this point in time, and I give great honor to him because he was also very important in the Fathers Club when I played for Weequahic High School and beyond. I'm going to go off script and speak of a surrogate son of Newark, New Jersey, two in particular, Frank Verducci and Bernie Lee Adams. Those were two men that utilized athletics to get through to the young men or kids at that time and turn them into men through competition in the athletic arenas, football, utilizing being tackled. You have to get up. You have to run your pattern in order to catch the ball in order to score, to learn how to lose gracefully and win without boasting in life. Getting back to my list, I just had to give them much homage because Coach Verducci is still with us, and he's 91 years of age. But these are Newarkers and surrogate sons that came to this town like Coach Adams and saw the opportunities and gave back to this town. Coach Verducci is a lifelong Newarker from Lake Street. He's a graduate of Barringer. He's a phenomenal coach, but an even better and greater human being. These are the men that put their hand on me. William Payne. William Payne was born. No. William Payne was the Assembly Deputy Major Conference leader after Donald Tucker. That's from 98 to 2008. But he was also the younger brother of Congressman Donald Payne, who was also an excellent athlete, football and track for Barringer High School. He uses athletics to pursue higher education. I speak of Barringer, I speak of Dr. Leonard Jeffries. You can go on and on and on of individuals in this town right here that utilize every component and resource they possibly could. They didn't have to go abroad. So understand, if you can go abroad, that's a grand thing. I went abroad. But if you can stay here and still be disciplined, because there are a lot of feeble things reaching and pulling at you, as not only just a young man, but as a young woman too, a young lady. William Payne is the younger brother of Donald Payne, our past congressman, the uncle of Donald Payne Jr., and he also has a nephew, Craig Stanley, that was an assemblyman. So the Payne family per se was right around the time that Peter Rodino, do a little research, was in power. So he understood the importance of being in a position to help his town, his city, and the following generations that would follow after them. Well, I guess I can go off script now, and let me get back to one more thing. Carter G. Woodson. At 17, he mastered all of the common school subjects and taught himself. His mother was illiterate and his father. He taught himself. He went on to Berea College, which is in Kentucky. Can you imagine Kentucky in 1926? He's a Virginia boy. Now, Virginia is the home of Confederacy, but he's going to Kentucky. Check that out geographically now, the history of Kentucky and the history of Virginia. They used to say when I was growing up, you had to go all the way down to Mississippi to feel the rage of bigotry, oppression, and segregation and things of that magnitude. Well, let me bring it to your attention. You didn't have to go that far. You go in some parts of South Jersey and you might have felt something. Well, anyway, he was the second black man in this country to get a PhD from Harvard. The first one was W.E.B. Du Bois, and that was out of Harvard. Moving on, I think I can just talk to you all now about understanding. Don't forget what I told you about that book, Blacks and Jews, Alliances and Arguments, by Paul Berman. Blacks and Jews, Alliances and Arguments by Paul Berman. Now I'm going to go off script. Black history, to me, has gotten watered down, just like the Black Lives Matter. Now, that's not overall everybody, but it just seems that everything is for money. I don't understand how. I was always taught, let me say this, all money ain't good money. Now, within it not being good money, you should want no part of it unless you're willing to accept the consequences that come back from it. And we understand that, I'm not advocating, but from an urban environment, I understand that it's a difference in surviving, it's a difference in existing. But there's a price that you have to pay, so don't cry. As Beretta would say, do a little research on that too.